Hello and welcome back to the Sports Centre YouTube channel. I've got a question for everyone. Is the FIFA Club World Cup actually alright? I don't know. You tell me. That's what I'm asking. See, personally, up until this weekend, I've not watched any of it. I tell a lie. I've caught glimpses of games in the background as I've been doing something. I might have been doing some content creating, editing videos, whatever, and I might have had the game on the back. I've not really been paying attention to it like I would do a normal game of football. However, this weekend, my interest was piqued, shall we say, about the competition, probably due to the fact that, dare I say, more appealing clubs are still in it, left in it. I think that's it. And I think I've come to the conclusion in my own head that the competition was full of teams that, ultimately I've never really heard of. Like, a lot of the South Americans, a lot of the clubs, obviously I've heard of Inter Miami basically because of Messi. But I've never watched a game of Inter Miami. I've never paid any attention to them, just like some of the Saudi Pro Leagues. I have never ever watched 1 minute football of the Saudi Pro League. I know that some of the big stars play over there because it's got a draw for a few reasons. But I've never watched a game. But now, because you've got teams like Borussia Dortmund, who I'm very familiar with from years and years gone by, when they won the Champions League, got in the, I dare say, it might have been in the early 90s. Bayern Munich, obviously, another European giant playing over in Germany. Man City just got knocked out. And I think that's where my interest sparked, or caught a spark, shall I say. It was a lot over social media that Man City had got knocked out to a Saudi Pro League side, and I thought, oh, all right, let me have a look at this thing. Let's see what the product's like. And I was quite impressed actually with some of the football that Al Hilal that knocked City out played. And then as I was looking further into what was coming up in the competition, especially over the weekend as well, given that there's not a lot of sport happening at the moment in the football world, shall we say. Obviously, there's Wimbledon going on. We've had a great F1 Grand Prix just had, but in terms of football, that's predominantly what is happening until the pre-season gets underway for the clubs. And I was looking at some of the lineups and I saw Bayern Munich PSG, who anyone could argue that's a Champions League final fixture. So I thought, okay, let me catch a bit of that. I think I caught the second half of that game. I caught them all the second half, and I caught the majority of the first half, and I was sickened by Musiala. The injury that he got. And I know a lot of people now will come and say, oh, this is why the FIFA Club World Cup shouldn't be in play because of injuries. People can pick up injuries. People can pick up injuries, just walking up the stairs. Like, I dare say that the competition isn't the reason why he's got injured. I will say, just on that though, that I thought Donnarumma was ridiculous how he came out. I thought he was completely rash. He come flying out of his goal. It was one of them ones that I'm taking man and ball and I don't give a shit. And I also thought it was a penalty. He went through the player first to get to the ball. He's fucking fractured the guy's ankle, his leg or whatever now. I bet he's got ligament damage as well. It was a reckless challenge for me. And I believe personally, in my opinion, I don't know what you guys think, let us know in the comments below, but he's kind of gone under the radar, and because he showed empathy, you could see him like holding it. He looked over and he basically saw Musiala's ankle like flopping around like this, and they're like, oh fuck, I've just done that to this young kid, this young up and coming superstar, I dare say, because Musiala could potentially be a he's a superstar already, he could be a mega star. And yeah, for me, he got away with one there, Donnarumma, if you ask me. Didn't like it. But albeit decent game, great game. PSG, what a team. I mean, they're the European champions for a reason. I dare say they was the best team in Europe. Not according to Mikel Arteta, but according to most people, they're the best team in Europe, and they proved that by winning the Champions League. But yeah, that fixture itself, that game was a great game and worthy of a Champions League final fixture. And then coming in to one of the other quarterfinals, you had Real Madrid against Borussia Dortmund, which, what a game that was, especially the second half. I mean, unbelievable. I thought Dortmund did all right without doing much. They contained Madrid, shall we say, but Madrid were by far the better team. But I mean, it all happened in the the final 10 minutes, really. I've just got the stats in front of me here. So after 90 minutes, you had a goal for Dortmund that ultimately brought it to 2-1. You thought, let's have a look at this. Then Mbappe scored, and shout out Mbappe for giving it the old celebration as a bit of a mark of respect to Diogo Jota. I love that. So shout out Kylian Mbappe for that. Then you had the red card, which led to the penalty. Dortmund converted the penalty, and this game that ultimately could have been like an average 2-0 win for Real Madrid, a course to victory. Ended up being a 3-2 thriller. It was mad. And now you see the fixtures that it's thrown up. You've still got Chelsea in that mix as well. You got Madrid. You got PSG. You got one of the South American teams. So I'm intrigued now, and I probably will watch these semi-finals, and I probably will watch the competition through to the final. And that got me thinking, because the competition has come up for a lot of criticism. Why do we need it? Why do we need a competition? And probably I've said similar things, but maybe the competition just looks to me like it needs condensing in time, and also in clubs too. We're trying to shoehorn in a lot of these clubs that ultimately they're not worthy to be on the same field as the likes of Real Madrid, the likes of Bayern Munich, Chelsea, some of these European giants. And I'm not sure it'll get reviewed. I think it's here now. It'll be here to stay. It'll get pushed on us like it has been. It'll be here every 4 years now. Teams will be probably forced to play in it. And look, the prize money at the end of it is great. You've got the £100 million or whatever it is. It's the first time the competition's taken place. So I dare say that it probably will grow. People's interest will get more and more and more as it continues to evolve and it continues to happen. But yeah, I don't know your thoughts, but me straight away, I just thought maybe the competition could do with getting condensed a little bit, just getting in terms of time to allow players a little bit more recovery time, a holiday period, because we all know that players these days, at the top elite level, they're getting absolutely flogged. There's no two ways about it. If you are an elite footballer that plays in Europe, in your domestic league, in the cups, in European cups for your country as well, you're getting flogged. Look, I know people were saying, yeah, but they get paid X amount of money. Yeah, fair enough, they do. And all I'm saying is there's a human side of this in terms of they're not robots. We're asking them to keep going and going and going, and there's going to come to a point where, I don't know, will there come to a point where the players stand up and say, well, actually, no, I'm not playing in that. I imagine their contracts won't allow them to do that. But yeah, it's an interesting one. As I say, my interest has grown as some of the lesser teams, and I hate that word, I hate that phrase, but yeah, so as some of the small, the non-sexy teams, shall we say, have gone out of the competition. We're left with some of the big hitters now, and I'll probably watch them games. I'll have more of an interest in it. But yeah, interested to know your comments, your thoughts on what you think could be done to improve this competition. Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button right there. I'll catch you in a bit.